Some women will elevate your life, while others will slowly drain the life out of you. The problem is, most men don't see the warning signs until it's too late. They ignore the red flags, hoping things will change, only to find themselves stuck in toxic cycles. But a strong man knows exactly who to avoid. In this video, we're breaking down 8 types of women you should never date, because recognizing these red flags can save you years of wasted time and heartache. Let's get into it. 1. The drama addict. At first, she seems exciting. There's something intoxicating about her. The way she lights up a room, the way she's never boring, the way every moment with her feels like a whirlwind. But soon, you realize something. This woman doesn't live without chaos. She needs it. She feeds off it. And if there isn't drama happening naturally, she'll create it herself. That's when the problems start. At first, it might seem small, a fight over something meaningless, a moment where she blows something out of proportion. But soon, it becomes a pattern. She picks fights for no reason, turns every minor issue into a catastrophe, and thrives on emotional roller coasters. Before you know it, you're constantly on edge, defending yourself, and wondering why things always feel like a storm. A drama addict will never let you have peace. Even if things are going well, even if there's no real reason to argue, she'll find a way to create chaos. Why? Because to her, a stable relationship is boring. She's not looking for love. She's looking for emotional highs and lows. What happens to a man who gets sucked into this cycle? He becomes reactive instead of focused. Instead of working on his goals, he spends all his energy dealing with her nonsense. He loses his edge. A man who's constantly drained by arguments and emotional manipulation can't stay sharp. He starts doubting himself. Over time, she'll gaslight, blame, and twist situations until he's constantly walking on eggshells, wondering if he's the problem. And worst of all, drama never ends. It only escalates. The fights get bigger, the mind games get worse, and soon you're not just dealing with petty arguments. You're dealing with emotional destruction. You can spot a drama addict early if you pay attention. Look out for constant arguments with friends and exes. If every relationship in her life is full of conflict, she's the common denominator. An addiction to gossip and social media fights. A woman who's obsessed with other people's drama will eventually turn that energy on you. Extreme emotional reactions to small problems. A normal inconvenience becomes a catastrophe. A misunderstanding becomes betrayal. Everything is life or death. 2. The victim. At first, you might feel sorry for her. She tells you about how life has been so unfair to her, how her exes were all terrible, how people always betray her, and how she just can't catch a break. She plays the part perfectly, the wounded, misunderstood woman who just needs someone to care. And you, being the good man, might think, I can help her. I can show her what real love is. I can be the one who finally treats her right. But here's what you don't realize. The victim doesn't want to be saved. This type of woman feeds off sympathy. She's not looking for solutions. She's looking for someone to validate her helplessness. And if you step in as the man who tries to fix her, she'll never take responsibility. Everything will always be someone else's fault. Nothing is ever on her. She'll drain your emotional energy. Every conversation will be about her problems, her struggles, her suffering. But she'll never change. She'll make you feel guilty for having boundaries. If you ever try to focus on yourself, she'll say you don't care or aren't supportive. And that's how she traps men. Through guilt, through pity, through emotional manipulation. You can spot these women early if you pay attention. Every ex is a villain. If every man she's been with was toxic, that's a sign. She refuses to take responsibility for her own actions. She never has solutions, only complaints. No matter what advice you give, she won't take action. She just wants to vent. She guilt trips when things don't go her way. If she constantly makes you feel bad for focusing on yourself, that's a red flag. 3. The attention seeker. She loves the spotlight. She craves validation, and no matter how much attention you give her, it's never enough. At first, she seems fun, energetic, and charming. She's always on social media, always getting compliments, always surrounded by guys who are just friends. But soon, you realize this woman is addicted to male attention. The attention seeker doesn't care about real connection. She doesn't care about loyalty. She cares about being desired, and that means she'll always keep backup options. She might be with you, but she'll never fully belong to you. There's always another guy in her DMs, another friend she's entertaining. She needs constant validation. If you don't shower her with compliments, she'll go find them elsewhere. She thrives on making men compete. She enjoys watching guys fight for her. She loves knowing she has options. Spot her early before you get too deep. She's addicted to social media validation. If she's constantly posting thirst traps or responding to comments from random men, she's seeking external approval. She flirts with everyone, even in front of you. Some women claim they're just friendly, but if she can't turn off the charm when she's with you, that's a red flag. She needs reassurance all the time. If she constantly asks, "Do you think I'm pretty?" or "Do you still like me?" she's addicted to validation. 4. The controlling woman. At first, it feels like she just cares about you. She asks about your day, checks in often, and wants to know what you're doing. It seems like love. It seems like attention. But slowly, something starts to shift. She doesn't just ask where you're going. She demands to know. She doesn't just check in. She expects constant updates. She doesn't just want time with you. She wants control over your entire life. And before you realize it, you're no longer in a relationship. You're in a dictatorship. A controlling woman isn't looking for a partner. She's looking for a puppet. And if you let her, she will cut you off from your friends. She'll convince you that they're a bad influence or don't care about you like she does. Monitor your every move. She'll demand constant check-ins, make you feel guilty for having personal time, and question everything you do. Use guilt to manipulate you. If you ever push back, she'll say things like, "If you really loved me, you'd do this," or "Why do you want to hurt me like this?" She doesn't want compromise. She wants control. 5. The high-maintenance princess. She looks like a dream at first, stunning, stylish, effortlessly glamorous. She has that high-value woman energy that makes you think she's different. But as time goes on, you realize something. She's not looking for love. She's looking for a financial sponsor. To her, men aren't partners, they're providers. And if you're not spending money, she's not interested. A high-maintenance woman sees relationships as transactions. Her love is conditional. Take her on expensive dates. She's interested. Buy her gifts. She's affectionate. Stop spending. She suddenly loses feelings. And the moment a man stops funding her lifestyle, she moves on to the next one. It's not about love. It's about what she can take from you. 6. The commitment phobe. She keeps things fun. She's exciting, always going with the flow, and in the beginning, that feels refreshing. There's no pressure, no heavy expectations, just a good time. But then weeks turn into months, months turn into a year, and something starts to feel off. She won't define the relationship. She avoids serious conversations. She keeps you at arm's length, and soon, you realize she was never planning to stay. A woman who fears commitment isn't just unsure about relationships. She's unsure about you. She likes your company. She enjoys the benefits. But she's always thinking, is there something better out there? And that means she keeps her options open. Even if she's with you, she never fully closes the door to other men. She never makes future plans. When you talk about where things are headed, she dodges the question. She disappears when things get serious. The moment she feels like she's locked in, she pulls away. She loves the thrill of new romance, but real, lasting connection. That terrifies her. 7. The narcissist. At first, she seems like the ultimate prize. Confident, charismatic, and completely sure of herself. She carries herself like she's on top of the world, and that kind of energy is magnetic. But there's a dark side to her charm. She doesn't just have high self-esteem. She's obsessed with herself. She doesn't just expect love. She demands worship. And no matter what you do, it's never enough. She doesn't want a partner. She wants an audience. A narcissistic woman will always put herself first. Always. She might pretend to care about you, but deep down, you're just a tool to feed her ego. And if you let her, she will use your admiration as fuel. She thrives on knowing you're hooked. The moment you pull away, she'll either manipulate you back or drop you entirely. She'll make you feel small. She can't stand the idea of someone being better than her. So she'll downplay your achievements, mock your struggles, and make you feel like you're lucky to have her. She'll never take responsibility. If something goes wrong, it's your fault. If she hurts you, you're too sensitive. If she cheats, well, you weren't making her happy enough. To her, you're not an equal. You're a resource, a source of attention, validation, and admiration. And the second you stop providing that, she's gone. You can spot her before you get too deep. She only talks about herself. Every conversation revolves around her life, her goals, her problems. Your existence barely registers. She never apologizes. If she hurts you, she either justifies it or blames you for it. She needs constant praise. She craves validation and will do anything to get it, even if it means seeking it from other men. 8. The feminine chameleon. She starts off as your perfect woman. She's everything you've been looking for. She loves what you love, believes what you believe, and seems like the ideal match. But something strange happens over time. She starts shifting, changing, adapting. She's not the same woman she was at the beginning. She's someone else entirely. And that's when you realize she was never being real. This type of woman mirrors men to get what she wants. She studies you, figures out what excites you, and plays the part until she no longer needs to. And once she feels like she has you locked in, she stops pretending. The sweet, feminine, easygoing woman you met, gone. The real her, the one she was hiding, finally comes out. She starts resenting you because she molded herself to be what you wanted. She feels like she lost herself, and now she blames you for it. She begins looking for her next identity. Just like she became what you wanted, she'll soon become what another man wants. She's not a partner. She's an actress. And when the role no longer excites her, she'll move on to the next one. Watch for these red flags. She changes her opinions based on who she's with. One day, she believes in one thing. The next, she believes in the opposite, depending on who's influencing her. She picks up new hobbies, interests, and even speech patterns based on the men in her life. If her entire personality shifts with every relationship, she doesn't have a real identity. If you've dated any of these women before, you already know the damage they can do. They drain your energy, manipulate your emotions, take everything they can, and leave you questioning yourself. But a strong man sees the red flags early. He doesn't make excuses. He doesn't try to fix them. He walks away. Because the truth is, the wrong woman can destroy you. But the right woman, she makes you unstoppable.